Welcome to Hockey Wiz Talks podcast. Today I'll be previewing the All-Canadian Division. The NHL intends to implement a newly formed All-Canadian Division for the 2020-2021 season. This is how the All-Canadian Division stacks up. In first place are the Toronto Maple Leafs, followed by the Vancouver Canucks, Edmonton Oilers, Montreal Canadiens, Calgary Flames, Winnipeg Jets, and Ottawa Senators. And now a word from our sponsor. Check out my hockey blog at hockeywiztalkshockey.blogspot.com. Also visit my Facebook page and Instagram at hockeywiz777. The Toronto Maple Leafs are clearly the best team on paper. Unfortunately, the game is not played on paper. The Maple Leafs made some great free agent acquisitions, such as signing TJ Brodie, Joe Thornton, Wayne Simmons, Jimmy Vesey, and Zach Bogosian, adding to their already fantastic core. The Leafs are still expected to rely heavily on their core forwards like Austin Matthews, John Tavares, Mitch Marner, and William Nylander. But unlike prior seasons, they will have a much better supporting cast. Frederik Andersen is still expected to be the starter for Toronto, but expect Jack Campbell to get more starts. If everything goes as planned, the Toronto Maple Leafs should be the best team in the All-Canadian Division. The Vancouver Canucks should be the second best team in the All-Canadian Division if everyone remains healthy. The Canucks have a great top six offensively, and they also have a much improved defense from last season with the additions of Nate Schmidt and Ole Julevi. Braden Holtby was brought in to replace Jacob Markstrom in tandem with Thatcher Demko. They could potentially be one of the best tandems in the league. There are some question marks with the Canucks. The biggest of those question marks is their depth at right wing. Outside of Brock Besser, they really don't have any proven right wingers that have proven they can produce consistently. Despite their lack of depth on offense, the Canucks' high-end talent should be enough to carry them into the playoffs. The Edmonton Oilers have two of the best players in the world. However, there are still some issues with this team. In the offseason, the Oilers brought in Tyson Barrie, Kyle Turris, and Dominic Cahoon, and also brought back Jesse Puljujarvi. Without Oscar Klefbom, they will need another defenseman to step up in his place. The Oilers should be fine offensively because they added more offensive depth and they still have McDavid and Draisaitl, but they still have questionable goaltending. The dynamic duo of McDavid and Draisaitl should be enough to carry them to a playoff berth. The Montreal Canadiens have quietly built a very good hockey team that could be one of the best teams in the newly formed All-Canadian Division. In the offseason, the Canadiens added Josh Anderson and Tyler Toffoli to bolster the depth on the wings, and Alexander Romanov and Joel Edmundson to bolster the defense. The Canadiens now have 4 good forward lines and 3 good D pairs, as well as arguably the best goalie in the league in Carey Price. Carey Price has a solid backup goalie this year in Jake Allen, which will allow the Habs to rest Carey Price during the regular season. The Canadiens will likely battle with the Oilers to be the third best team in the division. And now a word from our sponsor. Check out my scouting blog at hockeywiz777scouting.wordpress.com. Also listen to my other podcasts on soundcloud.com/hockeywiz777. The Winnipeg Jets have a fantastic top six, a subpar defensive core, and a star goalie in Connor Hellebuyck. The top six of the Jets is as good as any in the NHL, but then their depth falls off significantly after the top six. Defensively, the Jets only have 2 impact defensemen, but that really could change if a young defenseman like Ville Heinola makes the team. Connor Hellebuyck's ability to steal games will be why the Jets finished with a better record than Calgary. The Winnipeg Jets will remain in the playoff hunt along with Montreal and Edmonton solely because of their scoring and Connor Hellebuyck. The Calgary Flames have a decent team, however, there isn't anything that really stands out with them. In a division with star-studded talent, the Flames don't match up well against Toronto, Vancouver, Edmonton, or Montreal, so the Flames could wind up 5th or 6th in this division. The Flames only have 1 great scoring line, which is not good enough to compete in this division. Jacob Markstrom had a career year last year, but it would be tough for him to continue to flourish with a much weaker team in a tough division. Nothing suggests that the Calgary Flames will be able to compete with the other teams in this All-Canadian Division. The Ottawa Senators are by far the worst team in the All-Canadian Division. Ottawa has a plethora of talent on offense, but will experience growing pains because they are too young. Eric Brandstrom and Artem Zub should play huge roles on defense this season, but they both lack NHL experience. Matt Murray needs a good team in front of him to be successful, so he might be in for a rough season. There is no doubt that the Senators should be great in the future, but now is not the time. The All-Canadian Division is a fresh and new idea, and it should introduce new rivalries and excitement to the league. In my next podcast, I preview the Northeast Atlantic Division.